I'm going to be careful because, yes, he's the governor, but he's also a candidate, so I'm bound by the Hatch Act, so I'm going to be incredibly careful, and I'm not going to comment on campaign matters. What I can speak to is more broadly. And, I will remind you that congressional Republicans just voted. Literally, they just voted a few weeks ago, a month ago, for the biggest border security cut in history, the biggest cut in history when it came to the Default on America Act. That's what that was. Part of that act was to cut border security, and that's what they voted on. And meanwhile, what this president has done, he has secured record funding for border security. He has record number of agents and officers securing our border, and is implementing policies that have resulted in significant drop in unlawful border crossing since Title 42. That is what the president has done. And so, I'm, again, going to be very mindful in how I respond. But speaking more broadly, I would say the question is to not us, but it is to congressional Republicans and what they have done to make this situation even more difficult by cutting the budget for by voting to cut the budget for border security and not supporting this president and what he's been trying to do.
Question: it's not unusual for presidents to invite members of their family to official White House functions, like the state dinner last week. I'm curious, though, in light of some of the recent legal controversy, if the president communicated to members of his family not to conduct business on White House grounds. Can you tell us about any kinds of guardrails that are up?
So look, I'm going to be, again, very mindful because this is all connected to a case that the DOJ is currently overseeing, so I'm not going to comment on that specifically. But as you know, and we have laid out very early on in this administration, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to how we all kind of move about and how we respect clearly the government ethics here. This is an administration has been incredibly transparent on that and has put some very strict rules. And so I can speak to that. I can speak to how the president has moved forward in making sure that the people who work for him and himself are held to kind of a strict course of action. But I'm not going to speak to anything that's related to the case.
Anything about guardrails for the president's family?
I'm just not going to speak to anything that's related to this case.
Do any guardrails exist?
I'm not going to speak to anything that is related to this case. As you stated, there are when it comes to ethics, we take that very, very seriously here in this administration.